HHDG. Peace, everyone. You are on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And shout out to everyone right now tuning in through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, Hip Hop Discussion Group, HHDG. As always, you can go and check out our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com. Latest music, upcoming events, previous interviews, which we also have written interviews on there, and more to come that are currently in the works, and as well as our merchandise. This is always possible through our company, HHDG Media Inc., which consists of Rock Vader KB, The Mayor, Skelly Top, T. Smith, and myself, Wiki. For tonight, we have a very diversely multi-talented musician. Pretty much, did everything on her own from the grind and continues to do that. She's shown the skills in the singing, the emceeing, the production, engineering. She has her own company as well that we'll talk about, and just continues to show it's not just always the grind. You have to have talent to come with it. You got to know who to work with, understand the business as well, and she's definitely been showing that and doing the proper networking as well, and have a good team behind you to help as well. Currently repping Los Angeles, and is a Gold Chain Music member, but originally from San Bernardino. What else can I say? The latest EP, Love Wins, is dope. Definitely, showing another high elevation. Before that, it was the For the Homies EP. And, going a little bit down the line, I don't want to go too far, but, the Californication, and also, what was it? The Queen's Gambit with Wavy the God from The Walkers, produced the entire EP. And she continues to show just, an overall love of music, not just hip hop. And if you go on the IG, you'll definitely see her music knowledge is very vast for many genres, and it shines in her music as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce YaH-Ra.
Hey y'all.
How you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. Definitely appreciate you taking the time. This has probably been in the workings for some time, because I know I tried to contact you maybe like a year or two ago, trying to get an interview. So,
Yes, I'm
here we
happy
are.
to be here.
Appreciate that, definitely. So before we even talk about the latest EP and also the new single, Charles Cosby, tell us a little bit about growing up San Bernardino.
Well, I was born there, and it's definitely an interesting place because you're not quite by the coast, but you're not quite towards the desert yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of describe it as the end of the coast, Southern California coast, which would consist of San Diego, Orange County, and LA. And then the IE is nestled inland. That's why it's called the Inland Empire, San Bernardino. So, yeah, it has its bright spots, but it's definitely a tough place to be from. There's a lot of destructive things, but there's also a college there. Yeah, it's pretty. I like being from there. I wouldn't change it for the world, but it's definitely full of its ups and downs, I would say.
Right.
And it's not. It's about 2.5 hours from Vegas, about an hour from no less than an hour from Palm Springs, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours from LA. With
Okay.
traffic.
All right. Yeah, because I know, I follow you on IG, so sometimes you speak on your past, and you said it wasn't a easy path, with the music and everything, and nothing was handed to you. So,
Not at all. Yeah, it's not. It's we didn't grow up out there with like Mad Studios, kind of how LA has.
mhm,
We didn't really have resources. The schools out there don't have a lot of money, so everybody has to hustle, and there's a lot of working class individuals. It's not so much like famous people and all that. But
right.
it's starting to get more popular now. As far as the IE, San
Hmm.
Bernardino's in the IE, but the IE consists of also like Riverside, Rialto. But yeah, you definitely had working class people, working class families, and a lot of students. It's a grind for sure.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, before you went by the name YaH-Ra, you were going
Hmm.
by Maya. Now, is that your actual name, or is that another alias?
No, that's my name, Maya Huyara.
Okay.
Hmm. But I
Right.
changed my name before it was too late.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So was the Gold EP your last project before you changed your name?
Mm, yeah, I believe so. But I've re-put most of the music back under YaH-Ra, so
Hmm.
they're all. Well, most of them are on streaming. Everything's on Bandcamp. But
Yeah.
I believe that was the last thing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I changed. I ended up changing it after Gold in order to just have a fresh start and almost a rebirth type to my art.
Right.
Hmm.
New chapter.
Yes, yes. But you can find everything on Bandcamp, like I said. So
That's right.
even it took a while to move everything and adjust it, but
Hmm.
it's all there.
For those that are watching right now, I just put the link, and you can see it on the bottom of the screen for her Bandcamp.
Ooh. Thank you for that.
Hmm. So
I'm
being
at
that,
this restaurant.
that's all right.
Thank you. I have a question. Do you think I could change the broccoli to Brussels sprouts, or is it too late? Um, I could check. We could do it. Okay, thank you. I'm annoying. Okay, sorry
It's all
about
right.
that.
Now, being that you love so much music,
Hmm.
what did you hear growing up?
Oh man, I heard so much good stuff. My mom's mom played a lot of vinyls, so I
Nice.
was exposed to people like Stevie Wonder, Carlos Santana, Fleetwood Mac. That nice era from like 60s to the 80s. All my uncles, Theos, they played gangster rap a lot.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so I was exposed to tons of Bone Thugs and Harmony, NWA, growing up in Southern California. Um, my mom listened to a lot of R&B. She has great taste. My family has great taste in music, so I was very lucky. And then myself, um, obviously, we're the generation with the internet, so as soon as that happens, you just unload, listen to as much music as possible that
Yeah.
you could find from the mixtape era.
Hmm. Just go down the
So,
rabbit hole. Yeah.
yeah, like livemixtapes.com,
That diff.
datpiff.com.
Yep. Hmm.
Yeah, all those things, you're exposed to music palette too because the internet obviously allowed for free music for a while. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was exposed to lots of different sounds in Southern Cali for sure.
Okay.
Hmm.
Very nice. Any
Yeah.
musicians in your family?
Well, my great grandparents, rest in peace, they passed away last year. They both played instruments. My granny played the piano, and my grandpa played the guitar, and they would sing a lot together. So,
That's beautiful.
yeah, so they would sing in English and Spanish too, which was
Hmm.
pretty cool. And we still have like the family piano and stuff. Other than them, just me.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, were they quite the entrepreneurs like you are?
That would be more my dad's dad. So my grandpa on
Okay.
the other side. He is first generation American from Jamaica. He
Hmm.
also passed away, but he came out here pretty much with nothing and built, you know, different things up for himself and for his family. So I feel like I feel like both sides of me, obviously, are integral, but I get my entrepreneurial spirit, and I feel like I can rap because I'm Jamaican. I think that
I'm
because it's
that.
so natural, yeah, and it's not like anyone in my family rapped at all. So that I credit that to my dad's side.
Okay.
hmm
Nice, nice.
Yes. How about you? What's your background?
Most of my family, on my, I would
Thank
say,
you.
I would say, on my mother's side, they're from the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Mhm.
On my father's side, my grandmother, my late grandmother is from Mississippi, and
Mhm.
then my grandfather on my father's side was from had family in St. Thomas and St. Croix.
Oh wow. Okay. So you're Caribbean as well.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Hmm. It's always good to learn more family history.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It's good. It's
Because,
best to know your background and
yeah,
find out as much as possible about your family.
yeah, yeah. Because what I found out about my grandfather is they moved to another island in their steps to trying to get to America.
Oh wow. So there was another stop along the way,
Yeah,
and that would be the second island you named.
yeah, hmm,
Oh, okay, gotcha. Nice.
yeah. And I didn't learn that whole part until probably my early adult life.
Hmm. Interesting.
Hmm. So how did Rose by YaH come to be your business?
So I first did grills for another company, and then during the pandemic, um, it became too hard for me to kind of work for them because I would have to do a lot of meeting up and driving and stuff. So it was time for me to kind of start trying to do my own thing. But I did work for another company. I worked for two other companies. And then finally, I was like, man, I think I just got to make my own because the pandemic just shifted everything. So I started doing, finding my own jewelers and branching open my network. So then I created Hollywood Grills. And it's been about, really since the pandemic. So what's that, like about 2, 3 years? But I've had it. I've been doing them for about 6 years total.
Wow, you said 6 years. Wow. Okay.
Uh huh. And then I've had my business about 2 to 3 of those 6.
Hmm,
Mm-hmm.
very nice.
Yeah.
So you got a nice little clientele then right now.
Yeah. I have I have like a lot of artists and I have a lot of referrals. So most of my business comes from people sending me clients
Hmm.
or other musicians. Like I've done the grill for JB, um, Mr. Hip Cat Science. I got some NFL players. I
Nice.
definitely love doing them. And then even the times when I wasn't, people just know I do them. So it's cool to always have, almost like if you're a hair, you do hair or something, you'll always have that skill.
Hmm.
So I definitely enjoy doing them and having my own company. It can be a lot though, but I do enjoy. That's what I had to do today. I worked on grills most of the day. So yeah. Thank you. Oh, those look great. Okay, thank you. I got some Brussels sprouts, y'all.
Not one of my favorite foods.
Oh no. I have Brussels sprouts and biscuits. Whoa,
Okay.
someone taking some pics. But yeah, so that's how I started with the grills.
Yeah, that's. I mean, hip hop. In general, it's always gonna be there.
Yeah, the jewelry it goes hand in hand, and I love the face people make and the feeling they get when they put their grill on. Like, it's jewelry is a good investment in your image, and not necessarily on some like vain vanity, but just to invest in your appearance necessarily.
Yeah, it's part of the fashion.
Exactly. The same way, you know, you want to keep your outfits nice and stuff. So people love getting grills, and I just love how they look when they get them. They like their swag just goes up out the window.
It's like I wouldn't say it's exactly like it, but it's like when you get your hair done and then you come out,
Exactly.
see how you look.
Exactly. And they just smile. Even if you're not a smiler, when you have your grill on, you're going to smile.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So with all of your talents, which was your very first one?
Writing. Writing has always been my number one, whether that's a book or a song, poem, essay. I've
Mhm.
always excelled in like the literature area, or I should say literary area. So I love to write, and that expands into everything else.
Definitely does, yeah.
Hmm.
So many avenues for it.
Yes, like I have screenplays, books. I have a lot of things I've written that I hope to put out in the next year or two.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Um, your your harmonizing that you do on your IG. I feel like it's kind of like a old soul, and you mentioned what you heard growing up, so
Hmm.
it's still in you. It still resonates from your elders.
Yeah, I can agree with that. As far as like stylistic choices with layers and harmonies. I really do. I like that smooth era, that crooning, like a Marvin Gaye, Aaliyah. Certain people, they they're not necessarily just power singers, but tweet. People have those melodic choices that are interesting. So I like having. Thank you. I like having layers that sound like there's a bunch of me sometimes, or
Mhm.
as if I'm my own choir.
Speaking of Tweet, I actually saw her perform last summer in Newark, New Jersey. She performed
Wow.
over there.
How was that?
That was great.
She still got it, I'm sure.
Yeah, she still got it.
I love Tweet and Missy and that whole camp. Aaliyah. These are all people who influence kind of me. I would say like Jodeci, um, DeBarge.
Hmm.
Shout out to DeBarge too. He's very sweet. He's written me plenty of times and he likes my music too.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah, and the way they sing, that they're the start. They're like the foundation of that style, like that soft style and layers and stuff.
So when did the MC come to be?
Um, well, I wrote my first. Okay, this is a funny story. So when I was in like maybe like third grade, we had to do this performance in my class of like for the whole school at graduation. So I went to my friend Caitlin. Her mom was like, the class mom. So I went to her and I said, I think we should perform this song I like. And she's like, what song is that? And I'm like, this song called I Know I Can by Nas. So she plays it and she's like, this is a great song. We just have to change a few of the lyrics. So I'm like, okay. So, when he's talking about be boys and girls, listen again. This is for grown looking girls who's only 10. The one who watch videos, do what they see. Cute as can be. That verse, second verse, we had to change it around. So I got to write it. But the whole first verse, my whole class sang that song. And then we all had to wear like matching shirts. So technically, the first time I ever rapped, I was rewriting a Nas verse as a little
Ah,
kid. And we had to perform in front of the whole school. Somebody has that somewhere.
yeah, I'm sure
But
somebody does.
and I had to rewrite the words with the class mom and my friend Caitlin. So we changed it to like school facts or something weird. But so that my first time rapping in front of an audience, I was very young actually, and it's hilarious. But as far as recording, my first time I ever recorded was about maybe 8 years ago. Cassius from Shady Records is the first
Oh, okay.
person,
Hmm.
yep, to invite me to the studio. So we wrote on the spot in Orange County and recorded, and it was a great experience. So, but I always rapped. I just didn't always record it.
Okay.
Hmm.
How was your stage fright that first time?
I was never really afraid of the stage in a weird way because I grew up dancing, singing, talent shows, all these different things, dance team.
Hmm.
So when it came to rapping, I already knew I liked being on stage. The principles of being on stage are pretty much the same no matter what you're doing. You know what
That's
I'm
true.
saying? Be prepared. Don't turn your back to the audience. Things like that.
Hmm.
The only difference is now it's my original thoughts, right? Instead of like a play that I've memorized.
Right.
So,
Okay. Yep. We got a question from someone watching Block
hey
Record.
y'all. Okay.
He said, "What does she think is the attracting allure of a great like Aaliyah, and does she share any of that vibe?"
Mm, the thing that made Aaliyah attractive is her ability to captivate and make it seem effortless. She didn't really. Everyone says like she didn't try hard, but you have to work hard to make it look that easy, right?
Right. Hmm.
So that is its own skill. And I definitely look up to Aaliyah and try to follow in her footsteps with some of my choices and the way, as you said, like layers and basically still being that tomboy sometimes, but still being ladylike. So rest in peace to Aaliyah because she was my favorite. I used to have her all over my binder, like an Aaliyah collage. So
Yeah,
her allure was very feminine, very tomboy, and she didn't try hard to stand out. And I hold those same ideologies definitely. So hopefully that answered the question completely.
I believe it definitely does. Yeah. Um, you know, there's it's pretty much stereotypical when it comes to women in hip hop that there can only be one, and that's how the the mass media always promotes it. And
Hmm.
there's so many talented MCs out there. I don't like to say female MCs. There's talented MCs out there, and
Yes.
you're definitely one of them.
Thank
You've
you.
worked with a few of them, and one up and coming. Santana Fox on For the Homies EP, which her self-produced project is coming out later this month. Um, but you know, it takes more people that sharing the music to let everyone know that that talent is out there. You can't always go by what the major labels or any type of major media is portraying it to be, that, oh, this is the current best female that's out there, like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
True.
how do you feel, what's one of the ways to kind of break that monotony?
Well, I think that people who are in the lanes similar to the lane you're in have to, they're an integral part of taste making. You know, I'm an artist. I'm not a marketer. I'm not a playlister. I'm not a journalist. I'm not none of that. So all these areas are integral in keeping our culture, having a more accurate and diverse reflection of hip hop. So the people who create podcasts and playlists and the bloggers, the concert bookers, everybody has to do their part with some integrity. And that will allow for the artists to not have to go unseen. Back in the day, it was like DJs would want to break a record. They wouldn't just play what's on. So it takes the whole community. It takes the artist being authentic, but then I'm not gonna be interviewing myself.
Right.
I can't play. I can playlist myself, but like that's not gonna count. So I think it's a community effort in order to make sure that our best and brightest are being seen and heard, regardless of what any machine is doing.
I agree, definitely.
Yes. Which is why I appreciate being on this interview right now.
Definitely. I continue to make an effort, no matter the gender, but I understand that, like I was explaining, they try to put it as if there's just one great female at a
Mm-hmm.
time, and to keep that trend going year after year. So I just, make that effort to, with our HHDG media team, of putting those artists out there without, trying to put it based on gender. Just the talent is there.
Mm-hmm.
The talent's going to speak for itself. So just share the music that.
Facts. Yeah. Same with age or whether someone's signed or indie. None of that should matter. It should just matter if you like the song
Right.
and you think they're contributing to whatever it is you like organically. So shout out to your team for doing that.
Definitely. Absolutely. Um, you spoke about the MCing and the singing. The grills. When did the engineering start?
The engineering started about 1 year after recording because there were no studios where I was from. And I was finding a lot of conflicts of interest, so to speak, being invited to studio
Mm-hmm.
and always having to go to LA all the time to record without a car. So I began experimenting with the USB mic and GarageBand. And then from there, I got a Scarlett bundle and started with Logic Crack. And that just grew to different, better interfaces and, you know, different upgrading every year. Better mics, learning about mics in general. So I definitely, and then that grew to recording others.
That's
Yes,
great.
thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, so it was an organic growth that began with necessity and lack of studios in the city I was living in.
Was that another deciding factor in to moving to Los Angeles?
Yes, because I was also modeling at the time. Everything was in LA. So as comfortable as I was in the IE, I knew I had to keep it moving in order to not have to be on be on the train or be in commuting everywhere.
Hmm.
Cali is very vast, so the traffic is crazy. It's the size
Yeah,
of 5, 6 states.
I've
So,
heard.
so you might think it might look close, but it's not.
Just like New York City, there's
hmm
always traffic.
Yeah, and that adds to lack of convenience. There was plenty of work in LA as far as modeling and opportunities, so that's what caused me to relocate there.
Okay. On the song "Merry Litmus," being that you're speaking of modeling, was that one of your
hmm
modeling pictures?
Mary Litmus. What does the cover look like?
Let me see if I can get that up.
Let me think. That one's a deep cut. By the way, y'all, I'm at Red Lobster.
This picture right here.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that was a photo shoot for this album art. That's this Christmas song I made when I first was learning to engineer.
Oh, that was early engineering. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Block Reppin has another question for you. He said, what do you bring to the field that is not available or has been missing?"
Um, I bring a perspective that has not been introduced yet just by being who I am, because there's not many women from Cali who have been let in the gates of hip hop or have their voices amplified. So my perspective, a lot of girls like even this whole Kim K style thing, that's like Cali girl, that's style they took from black women from Cali. So at the end of the day, we have our own perspective. We have our own way we wear jewelry, the way we talk, our slang. A lot of women have not been able in 50 years of hip hop to have a voice from California, specifically LA, Southern California as well.
Mhm.
The Bay has produced a handful. However, there's still not many. So my perspective is unique because I'm a black woman and I'm from here, a marginalized um, demographic in hip hop, as well as me having a sense of consciousness in the general field of female rap, quote unquote, right now. But I still make party records. I still have fun. I'm not perfect, you know. So I have a very real perspective. Um, I enjoy participating in songs that are true to like G Funk, as well
Mhm.
as kind of songs with bars, as well as singing. So I feel like I have a pure expression, which is rare in female artistry right now, because all these women, the men are telling them what to say. Whereas with me, I write all my music and engineer. So you're getting a very raw, almost, you know, expression of art. hmm
Definitely agree. Yep. Because they,
So
they
hopefully you like it.
I definitely do. From been listening to throughout the years. And what I was gonna say was based off of what you were saying. they always have to portray that a woman needs to be sexy and have that type of content where
Yes.
you have a very soft and sexy voice, and yet you still come with the
Thank you.
bars. And see, that's something that a lot of people don't want to accept, from what I'm noticing.
You know, there's a lot of people that they'll tell me like you should stop singing and rap or you should stop rapping and sing. People don't know what they want. So I just do what I want to do and try to become a better musician every day. As far as rapping, I enjoy writing. So of course I'm going to study the game and
Right.
study lyricism, write poetry and you know, I really love to be an MC, so I take it for real. I try to push the envelope and challenge myself and be good, be great at it when I'm live or in the studio.
I guess that's where the term Hood Dorothy Dandridge comes into play.
My biggest idol besides Aaliyah. I love her.
Yeah. Grew up, seeing her a lot, watching a lot.
Have I watched her a lot? Is that what
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah.
My first EP called the Rebirth EP.
Hmm.
It samples one of her movies that I love called Tamango. That's my favorite Dorothy Dandridge movie. I'm sorry, people are eating and singing happy birthday. Are you a fan of Dorothy Dandridge?
Yes, I have.
Very elegant
Hmm.
and very natural.
Yeah, it makes me, wonder at that time, how much harder it was to just be herself.
Yes, and not ever playing a slave these conscious decisions she made in her career. You have to be strong in who you are. I adopt that in my rapping for sure. I don't ever want to just be mid because it's like the easy way. And most women are not sexy 24/7. So we're not thinking about that. So I like existing in my lane of conscious doesn't necessarily mean perfect either. That's the part people don't get. Conscious just means I'm thinking before I speak.
Hmm.
I'm critically thinking about what I'm saying. You can be ratchet conscious. You can be conscious on a sexy record. It's a choice you're making before allowing people to, consume what you're giving them. Am I going to give them McDonald's or am I going to give them a nice steak
Right.
that really took some time?
So my next question is, when did you become part of Gold Chain Music?
About halfway through the pandemic, Planet Asia asked me to be a part of Gold Chain, and I said, yep, I definitely will.
Wow. You gotta tell us the story on that. Did he mention, in any comments or anything that he earlier prior to that of him listening to your music or anything?
Well, I reached out and asked him how much for a feature,
Hmm.
and then he told me to pull up to a music video shoot with him and the Mussolini. So I did. There was a lot of people there, and the vibes were high. And then when I left, he basically said no charge. And then we made our first song called what's it called again? It's on a Python P beat with a Prodigy loop. I have so many songs, man. What's it called again? Damn. Think Twice. There's a video for it too. So then after that, he told me he wanted to expand his crew. And so I told him that I would definitely be down to be a part. And I'm the only girl as of right now.
Do you mind if we, play a little bit of that video?
Of Think Twice? Of course
Yeah.
not.
All right. Let me put that on real quick.
Okay. Let me mute myself.
All right.
Niggas like poltergeist. Smile fights for a kid like that. This thing twice before you move on it. Put jewels on it. Loose niggas make the news when we
I
start
beam
falling.
light in the darkest crevices of the planet. I'm a rap invented, respect is taken, not handed. I never tried to demand it. My parents' hood and my life didn't plan it in Hollywood, where they guessing these stars, and I'm a whole damn planet. Similar to Asia, my shit bump like races. The West Side, most valuable player, a rap nigga never did me no favors. I'm checking cheddar, no raiders, and serve the whole game change like waiters. My catalog is self-inflicted. I'm gifted with the gap and my swords is liquid. I'll be dim like a soul that's wicked if I sell my soul for your goals and businesses, estates, ambitions. I'm too ambitious. Poke Cyclops in his eye, tell the giants I'm fearless. Think you free, but your mind's in prison. I'd rather drop yours than riches.
Niggas like poltergeist. Smile fights for a kid like that. This thing twice before you move on it. Put
Know what it
jewels
is,
on
man.
Loose niggas make the news when we start forming. Niggas like poltergeist.
You know what I'm
Smile
saying?
fights for a kid like that. This thing twice before you move on it. Put jewels on it. Loose niggas make the news when we start forming.
Madman, military marksman, heavy metal, melatonin, Martian, bulletproof, quarter-length shark skin. My snub will make an alien shapeshift. Your heart is translucent to the God, cause I can see through that fake shit. I'm wired different. Fort Knox is my expenses. I summon flying disc, who am I in the hieroglyphics? I'm the one mind, the traveling trail. Weigh my heart against the feather, so I can see my fate on the scale. Who wanna go against the no sense? Having king, colossal gun, clapper, smack you with the butt of the blick. What happened? It was written in the stars that I be known as a czar. Manifest destiny and represent the tribe of Jabbar. Stand on my square and never steer from it. This is way beyond some shit niggas just right for the homies that wanna hear something. I appear stunting on those front and not for nothing. No matter you from the city, your country bumpkin.
Oh my God. Asia's verse. That whole experience just makes me happy to watch that. So, in that video, just so y'all know, that was shot in San Bernardino. And I thought Asia was the coolest because a lot of people are scared to go to San Bernardino.
Ah.
And he was like, "Let's go." And I was like, "Oh, I love you already." So, and another thing to note about that video, it was shot in San Bernardino. It was shot by my friend Louis Eugene Lee and edited by me. So he shot a lot of people. I just have shoot it and then I take the footage and then I make the video. It's a handoff experience.
Okay.
So I really wanted to impress Asia. The beats by Python P, who is in Pack Music Group, which is Ab Soul's crew. And I knew when I heard that beat that it would be for Asia. When he told me he wasn't gonna charge me, I knew I had to get something special. And he
Is
heard I sent it to him with my verse already on it too. So I think that's one of his best verses of all time. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Man, that's a great experience right there. Hmm.
Yeah, that's when I knew that I would have a longtime friend. Not just make good music, but the whole from top to bottom. And I met the Mussolini that same day too.
Ah, dope. Wow.
Yeah, because they were filming their video. Not the day of my video. I'm saying the first time I met Asia. Him and Musa were shooting their video. So him and I have a good relationship as well. He's honorary chain.
Definitely, definitely. He,
Hmm.
he's. I got to give him a lot of credit too. He's definitely on his grind. You know, about to drop that video with ST Neck off the Uptown Bandits too. Got
Yeah,
that
shout
work.
out to the Mussolini.
Yep.
He's incredible and he's a good guy. We traded verses as well. So he's on Love Wins EP, and I have a song that we recorded in my studio with on an album that on a soundtrack beat. I think that he it's not out yet though,
Oh, okay.
but I thoroughly respect it. And all these guys I look up to. You know, I'm right behind them in every way. I'm like, whatever they're doing, I need to be doing.
Definitely, definitely. You know, to even be part of Gold Chain Music, and I say this all the time. You know that's a high regard for Asia to include you there. Any
Thank
any
you.
that's on there. I've
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed K Burns before, and he's saying the same thing. So you're part of the family.
Yes. No matter what, no matter what about my crew, everybody can rap. Well, no matter what, who you press play, niggas can rap. You hand them a mic, you're not gonna hear vocals. We're gonna get to work. So I'm very grateful. I feel like we're like some juggernaut crew, And we have the thing that I love about Asia is that he made the crew to have people from East and West Coast, which is crazy, as
Yeah.
well as even some in Africa. I think Ghana. I'm not sure. You can ask him that one, but we definitely
Mhm.
have crew members even. I want to say in East Africa, and everybody can rap. So, shout out to Planet Asia and Gold Chain.
Definitely, definitely. Um, when Midas the Beast was here in New York last year, I got to hang out with him and Supreme Cerebral for a little bit, and they were talking about when they have sessions with Tri-State. Have you experienced that?
Well, Tri-State lived in Hawaii
Yeah.
since I've been
Mhm.
around. A lot of
Okay.
these guys have known each other many years. I've been
Mhm.
around about 3 years, maybe. So maybe 2 years. Um, but I've been in the studio with Tri-State. He's a beast. But here's the thing: everybody's a beast. If you don't get
Yeah.
your verse done fast enough, someone's gonna beat you to it. If you play that Chain Reaction album, that's volume one. We have
Yeah.
like two more volumes on the hard drive of, and I learned to be a better writer because being around these guys because every song can only have about 3 or 4 verses. So if you take too long, or you fall asleep, or you step out to get food, you might you might come back and somebody laid the verse already. So um, yeah, I love being a part of a crew. I love it. I'm a solo artist, so when I joined my crew, I
Mhm.
had all intentions to be a team player and be relevant and be valuable to my crew. But then we all in the studio, it can get crazy. I mean, Bernie used to always fall asleep in the studio. He would be so tired. And then like you said, Tri-State, Piff James come into town, they're ready
Mhm.
to take heads off. They don't live out here, so you
They
know.
ready.
Yeah, and we have a lot of guests would stop by Dirty Dick Studio, which is the Gold Chain home base. Huss Kingpin, Vic Spencer,
That's a
Rome
dope. Oh
Streets.
man.
You don't
Wow.
know. I had a session with novelists from the UK and Big Twins. That
Oh
was
yeah.
incredible.
Novelist. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, you never know who's in there, but whoever's there is not playing. Novelist is not playing. You gotta be, you know, ready to rap and work efficiently. Niggas ain't taking 2 hours for you. You gotta get in, get out. Um,
Yeah, I like novels. I listen to a lot of UK grime. I actually got put on to a lot of artists because I listened to was it Rinse FM? The shows on Rinse FM.
oh, I
Yeah.
love it, man. I love it. I love that network. And shout out to Novelist. And his beats are also incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, I respect his hustle so much and how he's a bridge and a leader. And yeah, he's a good producer rapper, which is also fire to me. If you're cranking out beats just as fast as you're cranking out verses, that's a gift.
Yeah. Absolutely. And sticking with having a cohesive family and a tight knit team. We gotta talk about your management. First, shout out El Prez, for
El
linking
Prez,
this
what
up,
up?
but also your A&R and your road manager. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it pronounced Rim?
RYM.
Yes, RIM. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for knowing that. She's incredible. Everything that I've been doing in the past year involves other people. I don't even mix and master my own stuff anymore. Everything, it's just growing and it's a true team effort. And I look at myself as if, like, if you're an NBA player, you don't just have one coach anymore. You got a defense coach, you got an offense coach, you got a trainer, you got a person stretching you, you got a nutritionist,
Hmm.
you got a PR. So even though I'm highly independent, I've tried to build a team and respect the fact that there's no league without like a team of people. Thank you. There's no like possibly I'll let you know. Yeah, there's no team like it's a team at that point. It's not just you. Day one helps me mix and master a lot. I run things by him, so shout out to El Prez, RYM. Day one is my A or B engineer, depending how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll let him just make the choices. Sometimes I make them. Shout out to Death Row. Everything's a team, and I'm happy to elevate to this next level in order to experience that, and it's very humbling.
That's
You
great.
can't be in the NBA with just one coach anymore.
Hmm.
It's a whole economic system you're trying to build. So, I definitely couldn't do any of these things without everybody in my corner.
That's how it should be. Yeah. You have that proper support.
Yes, if you're expanding,
Hmm.
you know, if you're not expanding, you can do everything yourself. But eventually, the universe is going to be like, hey, this isn't AAU anymore.
I agree. How long have they been your management team?
Prez has been a good friend of mine and a confidant for at least 7 years. And he just became on my management team the past 6 months or so.
Hmm.
RYM, always been my road manager for about 2 years. So she helps me with a lot of things. And she goes with me on anything farther than an hour away. I bring her and I bring other people to just help because it's a lot.
Understood. Understood. Mm.
Hmm.
I don't want to keep you too much longer, so we're definitely gonna talk about the new EP, Love Wins, released
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. Revolves around.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're gonna get into that. Um, but before we dive right into it, tell us, where the concept and idea and everything started to formulate from.
Love Wins EP is basically about different forms of love that we experience, from themes of self love, romantic love, friendship, love of a loved one that you've lost, um, love of your craft, just all types of different love that the human condition can and hopefully includes for us. There's a lot of features which I normally don't do. And since there was already 4 of the songs out, that's why I called it EP, even though it's 10 songs. 4 of them were already available. So an additional new 6 and some cover art. To me, that's an EP. Because an album, I'm going to give you guys probably at least 8 songs you haven't heard. So I saw this recurring theme in some of my songs, and I created this EP in order to show that there's different forms of love, not just romantic or, toxic. So that's basically the main theme of it all.
Okay. If you want, would you like to go track by track?
As far as and explain each song, or
Yes.
sure.
Okay.
So the first song, YaH's intro. I love the game. I love the hustle. That's a line from a famous movie we all seen. Most of us. It's basically love of my craft, and it starts off as like you might think I'm gonna start singing a love song, but then I just start with the bars just to get you guys, like, throw you guys off a little. Track 2 after that, I want to say, is Paul Wall,
Yes.
For the Slabs. So now we get to more traditional love song, a song about me liking a guy so much that I buy him a car. And Paul Wall is amazing. He gave me such a classic verse, so shout out to him. And the next song is Achilles, I believe.
Yes.
Achilles is about me liking a guy who's not necessarily doing legal things. He's a entrepreneur of the sort, and so I'm struggling because I like this guy, but he be disappearing, going on missions, all type of shit. So Achilles is every player has an Achilles, a reference to the Greek god Achilles. I think it is Greek god. So the song after that is, hold on, don't tell me, Make It With You.
Yes, it is.
Come on. Okay, so Make It With You is a rendition of a Ralphie Pagan song. It's a remake, my version, song my grandparents used to play. I love Ralphie Pagan, so I just beefed it up with lots of layers and made it real sweet. It's a love song about how I want this to work. Now after that is going to be What a Life.
Yes.
Oh yes,
You're spot on.
I'm off the head, y'all. I'm doing my best. So What a Life features the Mussolini. The beat is made by Crisis, legendary, so
Yes.
legendary. I just love Crisis, from North Carolina, I believe.
Yep, you're right.
And he's part of Little Brother Legacy, Ninth Wonder Legacy, many things, but he's his own person. But just to,
Justice
in
League.
case someone, yes, in case you don't know. So, and Mussolini, I sent him that song because, like I said, I was on one of his songs. And I was like, hey, let me get one. So we traded, and he added his boy Silent Snipers on there, who's kind of like this mysterious hip hop guy. So he didn't even ask me. He just sent it back with 2 verses, and I was like, hell yeah, I like this. Shout out to the Bronx. It's the Bronx in the building. So that song is just about loving life and experiencing and doing fly shit. Like, what a life. Song after that is Bye Bye Love, I believe. Am I wrong?
Yes. Yep, you're right.
Yay. Okay, so Bye Bye Love is produced by Junia T, my fellow Yardy. He does DJing and production for Jesse Reyes, I want to say, but
Mhm.
he's incredible. He got them drums, and I just love his sound. So we'll have more stuff coming too. But Bye Bye Love is about me choosing self love over confusion. Essentially, I made the song short on purpose, so there's a high replay value. And yeah, I love Junior T. Again, he's also Jamaican, which is cool because him and Red in the Building are both Jamaicans. I didn't know that,
Okay.
so we're yeah, it's pretty cool. So then after Bye Bye Love is Break. I want to
Yep.
say
Mm-hmm.
Break is just me loving my craft again, same as song one. You know, talking myself up, why I love hip hop and why I'm the best. And I had to the point of putting break after bye bye love is in order to be like bitch, remember who you are. Don't let this dude, you know, drive you to the ground. You can't be all sad. So I smacked you guys with break after purposely to get back
Sequencing is
into the
important.
yes, to get back into the vibes, you know. After break is gonna be Bruiser Wolf,
Yep. The illest. Yep.
incredible Detroit artist from Danny
Yes,
Brown's
indeed.
crew, Bruiser Brigade.
Rhythm
He also
Brigade.
just dropped too, and Danny Brown. Check them out if you
Yes.
don't know. That song was already done, but when we played it for Bruiser Wolf, he wanted to hop on it. I have it on my vlog on YouTube too. Them hearing that song for the first time at the Bruiser House in Detroit,
Hmm.
and them just kind of going crazy. It was a really special moment because it was genuine. It's genuine when hip hop heads give you your props because we're such like elitists sometimes, you know. So it felt good to be in Detroit. It felt like I was at home because they just get it. They get it and they got it. Shout out to Fat Ray and all the rest of Danny Brown's crew, Bruiser Brigade.
Yeah.
So
The
that
whole.
song is special. Yes, and then after that we have 99 Problems. Once again,
Yeah.
just getting back into the, you know, being yourself again. Like, we got shit to do. You can't be walking around heartbroken or sad and depressed, right, over other people. Shout out to A Plus the Kid from Gold Chain for lacing that one. And Izzy Nice made the beat.
Dope producer.
Last song. Yes, he's consistently fire. And he's based out the Bay. So another chain member in another area. The Bay, by the way, if you don't know, is like maybe 8 hours from LA, y'all. So once again, vast.
Wow. Ooh.
Yeah. So, and the last song, I Am Why I Miss You, produced by Red in the Building from LA. It was the perfect. He sent me a pack at the perfect time because I wanted one more song, and I did it like that just to pay homage. Because back in the day, the last song used to be a song about, you know, revering someone we've lost or like a god type of song.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to follow that tradition. You know, that last song is either like a Jesus God type song, a song for the dead homies, or like a house song in hip hop, right? So sometimes I like to keep that formula on my releases in order to just, you know, so it's kind of like a language thing. Like, oh, she knows what's going on. So, and that would be for the homies EP, a walk down memory lane.
Oh man. You know, front to back. You know, this is a great project, and I said I believe if I didn't say it in the comments, I might have said it somewhere else. But this is a true balance and representation of who you are, your many
Thank
skills.
you. Thank you so much. Again, I know I trust certain people's opinions because, you know, you know what you be talking about. You have your eye on the culture. So I really appreciate that. And I'm glad that you liked it and that you've been following me to get to this point. And it's only going to go up from here. So I'm very grateful that you were feeling the project.
Definitely appreciate that. Yeah, and you know, I had to. I don't always get to, you know, this I listen to a lot of music, and I know sometimes, with everything else, I want to just share it, but sometimes I want to try and get that time to write about it and then put it on our website.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things, I grew up, having family with the records as well, and my uncle got me into DJing, so
Mm.
I still buy vinyl and CDs and cassettes as well. But
Nice.
that feeling of just being able to listen to the music and read everything is kind of in me when I write. You know, I like to give the credits to what I know is affiliated with the music.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's why I include all my credits thoroughly, even if it's a digital purchase.
Hmm.
You can know where I recorded it. All my metadata is correct. You know, anything that was uploaded later, I have the original upload date. Everything is calculated, and even the time I release, the numbers I pick, the way I describe the music,
Hmm.
I make sure to continue in those traditions. Though people act like they don't matter, it's our oral history as well.
Right. Yeah.
So I try to include those things and include extra album art, even if it's digital, include extra photo shoots and whatnot, extra freestyles, just so that there's still a package. Feel like you're getting a package still,
Yeah.
even if it's in a digital space or a vinyl.
Yeah. A person that played another important part in this EP, and I've listened to him and the group No One for many, many years, is Day One.
Yes. He helped me mix and master, as well as produce the first track with me. He made the beat. We helped arrange it, added the skit, you know. He's my good friend, and he's like my co engineer. So even if I mix something myself, I'll still send it to him and get his opinion. And he always uses teamwork. He doesn't fight with me over credits. He doesn't, you know, he's a good teammate.
Hmm.
He trusts what I have to say too. And then I trust what he has to say, whether I'm recording or we're mixing and mastering.
That's great. You
Hmm.
know, you you're one of the few people that, of everyone that's been mentioned, not just on this EP, but throughout your music career. Um, you're surrounded by talented people that seem to always keep it 100 with you.
Facts. I'm very blessed. I think that me being who I am and caring about the craft more than, attention or being popping allows me to attract the highest quality artists in around me, the highest quality mentors, such as Corrupt or MF Grimm, Pete Rock. I never
Hmm.
thought any of these people would even know who I am. So I'm very grateful that my ability and my personality can keep high quality individuals that are also good people, not just talented, and that don't just try to use me or take advantage of my look or, tell me what to do.
Right.
They see me
Hmm.
as a peer and they respect me regardless of what I look like and regardless of anything,
That's
you know.
key.
Yeah, because none of these people are into the bullshit anyway. It's not like they have, that specific type of female artist anyway. It's like, so I know that it's genuine. It attracts the best when I try to be the best.
Hmm.
Rakim, I rapped for him before he liked it, so different things that the universe meets me halfway on. But my ultimate goal is to be my own person and be that for someone else in some years from now. I don't really need validation, but respect goes a long way for sure. Doodlebug from, Diggable Planets.
Hmm.
These are people who write me all the time and encourage me and buy my music. I told you El DeBarge. It's crazy. So I just want to get better. So maybe I'm sitting at the table with them, not just getting props, right? Every step, the next step.
Yeah.
Battle Cat,
Oh my goodness.
man, he told me I was a leader, and he was like, I want to give you some flowers. And he just gave me this just very sweet, talk. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I have respect, which is what I do this for.
As you said before, my voice is my weapon.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to add to the culture, not just make money.
You definitely are. Yeah.
Thank you.
And another shining moment for you, I have to say, is your ability to allow your creativity to flourish with your projects. I mean,
Thank
from
you.
just from this interview alone, I've learned, that people are not holding you back. They're being honest with you. They're hearing you out instead of trying to structure you in a certain way.
Yes, because if they do that, they don't last long. Remember, conscious art. But I want, at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want. But
Hmm.
I have to be humble enough to know, when somebody's advice is better than my opinion or their suggestion holds weight.
Right.
But overall, this is my program. You know, if this is my station on the TV, my app, like if you want to be around, you have to be in my world.
Hmm.
So, and the real artists love that shit. Like I love going to someone else's world for a while. Mhm.
That's cool. I think that brings out the best music that way.
Yeah, because we're all being the best we can be, and then we
Hmm.
come together. And I have original thoughts to share, as they act like women just think about being sexy all day.
Right. Hmm.
Like, what the fuck? That's not true. We have a range of emotions and thoughts, so that'll always be important.
For those who are listening, I'm going to put the link for Love Wins in the comments. And you can see that pop up in a second. I'll definitely, if you haven't, check it out, listen to it, support it, spread the word on it.
Yes, and it's for free on YouTube for purchase on Bandcamp.
And I also, want to talk about the latest track you released last month, Charles Cosby, produced by Izzy Nice. Um,
Yes.
you did something which I always support and encourage. If I, every once in a while I'm in conversations and people ask about how they should put out their music, you put it out early in your Bandcamp before releasing it to your own major DSPs. That
Yes.
is important.
Yes, I frequently do that for my loyal people. And then whatever my drop date is on Bandcamp, that's the drop date I put on streaming, even if it comes later. So it's all accurate. I do a lot of early things on YouTube as well as Bandcamp, just because people on there really fuck with me. And in streaming, they don't want to pay us, so you get it last.
Yep.
Yeah, you get it when you get it.
So tell us about the new track, Charles
About
Cosby.
which track? Oh,
Charles
Charles
Cosby.
Cosby.
Yeah.
Um, I wrote that on Christmas in my studio. Hence the Saint Nicholas bar.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an intense song. It's getting away. It's like, okay, I gave you guys some lovey shit. Let's get back to the bars. That was kind of my attitude. I might put that as a bonus song on a vinyl or start a new project just with that. I don't know yet, but it's emotion. It's a song about. A lot of my songs are kind of political, or I named it Charles Cosby too because people just seem to forget about him all the time. And he's, and then I think it's even funnier because I've, I have, I feel like when I first started making music, people thought I was in Griselda, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah. And then fast forward, I've opened up for these guys and, have friendships with some of them. Not all of them, just Charles Cosby is like a long lost associate of Griselda Blanco. So it's almost like what would that word be? Like a parallel as well.
Mm-hmm.
The same way he's forgotten in history. Not saying I'm forgotten because I'm still going, but it's like that. Like a distant associate of Griselda. That's why I named it that too. It's like a double entendre, even the name is. And I just have a really intense attitude, intense flow. I'm trying to think of how I started that rap again. Yeah, it's basically just a little braggadocious. I'm talking about just Black Power, which is, he's from the Bay, which is the home of the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in that song. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's like a gumbo. And I wanted to end it super eerie. So I kind of fades out with my random singing like I'm in
Singing.
a
Mm-hmm.
chamber of some sorts or a cave. But yeah, we recorded that one in San Francisco. Actually, no. I'm sorry. We mixed and mastered it in San Francisco with Izzy at his studio. I recorded it in my studio in North Hollywood.
Okay.
Yes. Also, if my phone dies, don't think I hung up on you. On y'all.
How much life you got on there?
Oh man, I'm at like 5%.
Okay. All
My
right.
favorite number. 5.
Before we go, just give us, a brief description of what I enjoy, your acapella that you've released throughout your music career.
Oh yeah, so that's just kind of like some icing on the cake for the DJs. So or the beat makers. A lot of rappers hate when people rip their vocals and make beats. For me, I'm about 50-50. So at least I can control, hopefully, what is happening when I release these acapellas and people can remix them. They're super cheap too. I sometimes have them for free or like $2, the BPM included. I have different contests with beat makers, but I leave them up for
I
the
remember that. Yep.
DJs. Yeah, so you guys can DJs and for the beat makers to practice on. And some of them I love, some of them I hate. But no matter what, I love all of them, even the ones I don't like, because it just some people will do one and then a year later do another one and that one's fire. I don't know. It's almost like having like getting extra shots up for people with my vocals. Like I don't mind. I don't mind whatever they do. That's the purpose of them, so they can live on.
Okay. Yeah, I know the first time I was hearing some of them, I was like, this definitely sounds like something DJ, inclined. And then when you are
Yes.
explaining it,
DJs and the beat makers, go crazy, please. You have my permission to do whatever the fuck you want. You can make a house song. You can sample the words, not just make a beat under the words. Like they're up there for full creative use. I only ask that you don't like upload it to streaming. You could put it on YouTube, you put it on SoundCloud, put it on your Bandcamp. I really don't care. And I like to see people's interpretations of what I'm doing.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Um, I definitely be grateful for this. Finally getting to speak with you, learn more about you, and learn about the music as well. Um, every
Likewise.
Love Wins is out there.
Love
Like I
Wins
said,
EP.
listen, share it, support it. We got a, a very talented young woman right here who is just, I'm sure she's inspiring other women and other men as well, boys. It doesn't matter. The talent is there. So definitely, I appreciate this, and I appreciate having the platform to let other people know of your talent.
Thank you, man. I'm grateful that we connected, and shout out to the HHDG media family for making this happen and waiting for me in today's random downpour. It's been super fun. So thank you for playing my music. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to HHDG as well. Check out
Absolutely,
Love Wins EP.
definitely. And if there's any other shout out you would like to give, the floor is yours.
Oh, shout out to my management, RYM, El Prez, Payday LA, myself, Gold Chain Music, all the rap homies, all the bloggers, whether your opinions are good or bad, as long as you're being yourself. We're happy that it's going still. And yeah, shout out to me, like Snoop said. Shout out to me. I put the work in. I
There you
fucking
go.
came up with this shit. So, it takes all of us together to do this thing. So, shout out to everybody who had a hand in the project. And shout out to you if you're still watching us talk about rap. An hour and a half in. You really love it just as much as we do. So shout out to you if you're watching this right now. Give yourself a hug.
Appreciate that, definitely. And again, whenever you ready to come back on and talk about the next project, you're welcome.
All right, I'm there. I'm hold you to it.
Definitely. On behalf of our HHDG media crew, we're gonna say peace.
Bye, y'all.